Vicious Fun is a Shudder original, I believe. It is about Joel. He is a writer for a horror magazine. He likes horror movies. He's very critical, very mouthy. So he also is in love with his roommate, who's dating a blonde man. So he decides to take a cab and follow this guy, follow him to the bar. And he has too many drinks, and he ends up passing out in the back. And when he wakes up, the bar is closed, and everyone tells him to come in because they think he's Phil. And he thinks it's a self-help group maybe for alcoholism, but then he finds out it's actually a self-help group for serial killers. And he quickly finds himself in a bad situation, having to pretend to be one of them or else become one of their victims. So the movie is a very strange tone because it's a horror, but it's also a comedy. It's a homage to those 80s movies. It takes place in the 80s, synth music and everything. But it also, I've seen this concept done before. Volume 2 of The Sandman by Neil Gaiman basically has a serial killer convention. But also similar tone to the movie Accident Man by Jesse V. Johnson. That one is about like a group of eccentric hitmen, and they all have like their styles, and they hang out in a bar. So this is very similar in tone to those two properties, but also a little bit to the comic by Tim Seeley called Hack Slash, because one of the characters in this, she kills serial killers and she's after them. So basically Joel has to like go undercover, and then of course he basically has to survive against all these different characters. The movie is a little bit shallow in terms of plot and character because the villains, they're very thin. You know, you got like a Hannibal Lecter-like character. You've got a big Jason-like character, like a slasher guy. You've got a Jeffrey Dahmer one, and it's okay. It's entertaining. It's a little violent, but the movie kind of goes for comedy more than horror. Sometimes the comedy doesn't work at all. Like they change scenery and halfway during the movie to the police station, and these cops are just like not funny, and they just keep trying over and over till I get a laugh, and it feels really cringy. Also, the villains go down really quickly and easily, so it kind of takes away a lot of the suspense. But you know, you got the cool characters. It's a Canadian horror film, so you know, represent. But overall, Vicious Fun is just, you know, it's mildly entertaining, but it's not a new classic. It definitely needs to focus more on the horror aspect. They all should have been slashers maybe instead of serial killers, because they kind of lost control of that sort of theme. But overall, it was enjoyable. So I give Vicious Fun a 5 out of 10.